Ever catch yourself like staring at your bank account and just wishing there was like a little bit more in there?
Oh, yeah.
I think we've all been there.
I bet.
But you know, it's funny because like today we're going to be talking about income,
Okay.
which is kind of the foundation of our financial life.
Yeah, for sure. It's like the bedrock.
And it's funny because, you see all these messages out there about investing and building wealth and all this stuff, but they kind of skip over the most important part,
Right. They skip over that first step.
which is having the income to work with.
Exactly. You've got to have something to invest.
It's like they're telling you to build this like amazing penthouse,
Yeah.
but like nobody's talking about the foundation.
Right.
And this isn't just like some abstract financial concept.
No.
It affects all of us.
Right.
Like whether you're just starting out running your own business or even enjoying retirement.
Absolutely. Everyone's impacted by income or lack thereof.
And it's true. You see it with everyday workers who are struggling to make ends meet. You see it with entrepreneurs trying to get their ventures off the ground. You see it with retirees who are facing rising costs. Like it really is this underlying current that affects everything.
Yeah. That's very well said. It does affect all of us.
And I'll be honest, like I've totally been there.
Oh, yeah.
I had that emergency fund anxiety firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started out, I was working at a grocery store just stacking shelves, for what felt like pennies.
Right.
And I remember there was this point
Yeah.
where I didn't even have $500 in savings.
Wow.
Like one car repair,
Yeah.
one unexpected medical bill,
Yeah.
and like I would have been in serious trouble.
That is a very precarious way to live, and so many people, unfortunately, can relate to that.
And it's not just about surviving either.
No.
It's about having the financial breathing room to like pursue your goals, to take care of your loved ones, to
Yeah.
build a future where you actually feel secure.
Absolutely. And to have options. You know, a reliable income isn't just about paying the bills. It's about creating opportunities, opening doors to things that you might not even realize yet.
Yeah, and that's where I think we get tripped up a lot of times.
How so?
We get so caught up in this idea of like getting rich quick or hitting it big with investments
Right.
that we kind of forget the power of consistent income.
Right. The slow and steady wins the race thing.
It's like we're so focused on winning the lottery that we forget to buy a ticket.
That's a great analogy. I like that.
We need to shift our mindset.
Totally.
We need to go from chasing these quick wins to building a solid foundation.
Yes.
And income is that foundation. It's what fuels the entire journey.
I love that imagery of fuel. I think that really captures it well.
Instead of fantasizing about the destination,
Yeah.
we need to focus on building the car that's actually going to get us there.
I like that. Yes. Build the car.
And it's not just about working harder either.
No.
It's about working smarter.
Right.
Like it's about coming up with strategies that help you create sustainable income.
Exactly. And there are so many different approaches and strategies you can take. And I think that's part of what makes this such an interesting conversation is that there's no one right answer.
Yeah, and it can be as simple as like negotiating a raise
Right.
or like developing skills that are super valuable
Mm-hmm.
or even like exploring different entrepreneurial opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. And I think sometimes it's also about challenging those societal messages we receive all the time that tell us more is always better.
Oh, yeah.
Remember you were telling me about how you kind of got caught up in that whole keeping up with the Joneses thing?
Oh, totally. I remember I bought this like fancy new coffee machine just because my neighbor had one.
Oh, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love good coffee.
Of course, who doesn't?
But looking back, I realized like I was just trying to project this image of success
Oh, I see.
instead of actually focusing on what mattered.
And how did you kind of come to that realization?
It took a while to realize that, true contentment comes from having enough, not necessarily more.
Right. It's about being satisfied with what you have.
Yeah, and stable income is such a huge part of like achieving that feeling of enoughness.
Absolutely. It takes away so much of the stress and worry that can really get in the way of enjoying life.
And it's funny because I've seen this happen in the entrepreneurial world too.
Oh, really? How so?
I have this friend who was so passionate about their product idea.
Mm-hmm.
They poured all this time and energy into developing it,
Okay.
but they didn't really have a solid plan for generating revenue.
Oh, so they had the product, but no way to actually sell it.
It was like they built this amazing, innovative car, but they totally forgot to design the engine.
Oh, wow.
They ended up with a garage full of unsold products and like a ton of debt.
I don't know.
It was heartbreaking to watch.
And I think that's a really common mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs make early on is that they focus so much on the product itself that they forget about the business side of things.
Yeah, you need that financial literacy.
Yes.
Like you have to understand things like budgeting and pricing and cash flow.
Yes.
That's what can make or break a business.
It's the foundation for everything else.
And it brings me to another group that often gets overlooked in these conversations.
And who's that?
Retirees.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We assume that they have everything figured out,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of them are relying on fixed incomes that are being, like, eaten away by inflation.
Right. Their purchasing power decreases over time.
It's like their purchasing power is slowly dwindling, and suddenly they're struggling to, like, cover their basic expenses.
Yeah, it's a real concern.
Which is why income diversification is so important.
Totally.
No matter how old you are or what stage of life you're in,
Exactly.
having multiple streams of income is like having a safety net.
Like a buffer.
If one dries up, you're still covered.
Right. It spreads the risk.
You know, like my friend who started baking and selling cupcakes as a side hustle.
Oh, yeah. I remember you telling me about her. What happened?
She actually ended up getting laid off from her corporate job.
Oh, wow.
And that little cupcake business that she had on the side ended up becoming like her lifeline.
Wow. What a great example.
It saved her from like total financial disaster.
That's amazing.
It's a great reminder that like having those diverse income streams can give you so much resilience and peace of mind.
Absolutely. And it doesn't have to be anything complicated or super time-consuming either.
Yeah, it could be anything from freelance work
Right.
to like renting out a spare room or even turning a hobby into a small business.
Exactly. The key is just to be proactive and explore different options.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yes. Very wise words.
And as we're talking about all this, I'm realizing like there's a much bigger picture here too.
In what sense?
It's not just about our individual choices.
Right.
There are all these systemic factors
Yeah.
that are contributing to income inequality and financial instability.
Totally. Things like wage stagnation,
Yeah.
lack of access to affordable education and job training, discriminatory hiring practices,
Yeah.
all of these things play a role.
And that's where policy advocacy comes in.
Absolutely. We need to advocate for policies that create a more level playing field.
We need to support policies that promote fair wages and provide resources for entrepreneurs
Yeah.
and make sure that everyone has access to financial education.
It's about creating a system that supports economic mobility and gives everyone a chance to thrive.
Wow,
Yeah.
we've covered so much ground already.
I know, right? It's a big topic.
And we're just getting started.
I can't wait to dive in even deeper. It's a lot to unpack, for sure.
We really haven't even touched on the psychological and emotional impact
Oh, man.
that comes with income instability.
That's huge.
You know, like the stress,
The anxiety.
the anxiety, the feeling of being trapped.
Yeah.
Like it can be super overwhelming.
It really can, it can affect every aspect of your life.
It can cast a shadow over everything. And that's why, I think this conversation is so important.
Totally.
It's about more than just numbers.
It's about your well-being.
Yeah, it's about creating a life where you feel secure, empowered, and free to pursue your dreams.
I love that you said free because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's about freedom from worry, freedom to make choices, and freedom to create the life you want.
And it's not just about individual freedom either.
Right.
It's about societal well-being.
Yeah. When people are financially stable, it creates this ripple effect throughout the whole community.
It does. You
Yeah.
see reductions in crime.
Yeah.
You see improvements in health outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
It boosts local economies. Like the benefits are huge.
They really are. It touches everything.
And that brings us to like a really crucial point.
What's that?
The urgency of this issue.
Yeah.
This isn't some abstract problem.
I know.
That's just going to magically solve itself.
It's happening right now.
It's affecting millions of people right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the consequences can be devastating.
We saw this so clearly during the pandemic.
Oh,
It was like this stark reminder of how fragile everything is
yeah.
and how quickly things can
It
change.
was like the whole world was holding its breath,
Yeah.
just wondering what was going to happen next.
People lost their jobs, their businesses, their livelihoods almost overnight.
I know. And it was a wake-up call for so many people, including myself.
It really highlighted the importance of diversification,
Yeah.
not having all your eggs in one basket.
Don't rely on a single source of income that could just disappear.
Exactly.
But even amidst all that hardship,
Yeah.
we saw some incredible resilience.
Oh, absolutely.
People adapted, they pivoted,
They got creative.
they found new ways to generate
It
income.
was amazing to see.
Like people started side hustles, they took their skills online,
Mhm.
they found creative ways to make ends meet.
It was a real testament to human ingenuity.
It really was, and the entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, that drive to create something new and valuable.
And it just reinforces this idea that
Yeah.
even in really challenging times,
Mm-hmm.
we have the power to create opportunities
Yes.
and build a more secure future for ourselves.
And that's what I love about this whole conversation. It's not about dwelling on the negative. It's about finding solutions,
Right.
taking control and creating a better future.
It's about shifting our mindset
From scarcity to abundance.
from fear to possibility. For me personally,
Yeah.
this whole topic is deeply rooted in my own experiences.
Oh, really? How so?
Growing up, my family wasn't well off.
Okay.
My parents worked incredibly hard, but money was always tight.
It's amazing how those early experiences shape our relationship with money.
They really do.
Yeah.
I remember that feeling of worry,
Mm-hmm.
that uncertainty,
Right.
that kind of hung over everything.
It can be hard to shake that feeling.
And it really instilled in me this deep desire for financial stability,
Yeah.
for that peace of mind that comes with knowing
Yeah.
that you can handle whatever life throws your way.
That's a powerful motivator.
It is, and it resonates with so many people.
Absolutely. That sense of security, that
Yeah.
freedom from financial worry.
It's universal.
It is.
And that's why I'm so passionate about this topic.
Yes.
It's about demystifying the whole thing
Right.
and empowering people
To take control.
to take control of their financial lives.
Because knowledge is power.
It really is.
The more you understand about income, the more empowered you become.
So let's talk practicalities. Where do we even begin?
Yeah. What are some action steps?
What can our listeners do to start making income king in their own lives?
Well, I think the first step is awareness.
Okay.
Take a look at your current income streams.
Mm-hmm.
Are you relying on just one?
Yeah. Are there any risks associated with that?
Exactly.
What are the vulnerabilities there?
It's like taking inventory
Yeah.
of your financial well-being.
And while you're at it,
Yeah,
take a look at your expenses.
right.
Are you living within your means?
Do you have a budget?
Yeah. Do you have a budget to track your spending?
Budgeting is so important.
It's essential.
It's not about deprivation.
No.
It's about making conscious choices
Yeah.
and being aware of where your money is going.
It's like creating a roadmap for your finances.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
A roadmap.
So you know where you're starting from
Yeah.
and where you want to go.
Exactly. Once you have that clear picture of your income and expenses, then you can start exploring ways to diversify
Yeah.
income streams,
This is where it gets exciting.
right?
Think about your skills.
Your passions, your interests.
Yeah.
What could you potentially monetize?
It could be anything
Right.
from freelancing to starting a side hustle
Mm-hmm.
to investing in rental properties.
Yeah.
Like the possibilities are endless.
And don't be afraid to start small.
That's key.
Even an extra $100 or $200 a month can make a big difference over time.
Build that momentum.
Exactly.
Create that positive cycle of income growth.
And remember, you don't have to do this alone.
That's a good point.
There are so many resources available.
Yeah, like books, podcasts, online courses, financial advisors.
Absolutely.
They can all help you along the way.
Financial literacy is key.
Mm-hmm.
The more you learn,
Yeah.
the more confident you'll become.
And don't forget the power of community.
Oh, yeah.
Connect
Yeah.
with other people
Mm-hmm.
who are on a similar journey.
Share your experiences.
Learn from each other.
Mm.
Support each other along the way.
Yeah.
It really is like we're all in this together.
We are. It's like a giant financial ecosystem.
And the more we support each other, the stronger we become.
Exactly. And speaking of support, there's one thing we haven't talked about yet that I think is absolutely crucial for everyone.
Okay, what's that?
No matter where they are on their financial journey,
Okay.
an emergency fund.
Oh, yeah, the emergency fund, I'll admit, it took me a while to really get that.
Yeah.
But once I did, it was like this huge weight off my shoulders.
It's such a game changer.
Yeah.
Just having that one paycheck set aside
Mm-hmm.
for those unexpected expenses
Yeah,
can make all the difference in the world.
it does. It really does.
Like that car repair or that medical bill.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel like a crisis anymore.
right. You have a buffer.
Yeah, you have a safety net.
It's like having this extra layer of armor
Yeah, like a shield.
protecting you from those financial blows.
And the peace of mind it gives you is priceless.
It really is.
So once you have that initial emergency fund in place,
Okay.
you can gradually start building it up
Mm-hmm.
to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses.
Yeah, that's like the golden standard.
It is. It's like creating this cushion
Yeah,
that lets you navigate all those ups and downs
Yeah.
with so much more confidence.
so much less stress.
You know you're prepared
Yeah.
for whatever life throws your way.
And don't forget about long-term planning, too.
Right. Income isn't just about today.
Yeah.
It's about building that secure future.
For yourself and your family.
Exactly.
And that's where things like retirement savings and investing and estate planning come in.
Yeah, all those things that might seem a bit daunting at
Like
first.
it feel overwhelming.
But even small, consistent steps over time
Yeah,
can make a huge impact down the road.
I love that analogy.
It's like planting a seed.
Yeah.
You nurture it patiently.
Mm-hmm.
You might not see those results right away,
Yeah.
but with time and care,
Yeah.
it's going to grow into this strong and fruitful tree.
It's a journey, not a sprint.
Exactly. It's about those consistent contributions,
Yeah.
watching them grow.
Building that foundation.
And it's about recognizing that income isn't just about the money.
It's not.
It's about security,
Yeah.
opportunity, and freedom
Having the resources.
to pursue those passions,
Oh, yeah?
take care of your loved ones,
Mhm.
and make a positive impact on the world.
It's about living a life where you're not constantly worried about money.
Where you can focus on what truly matters.
That's the ultimate power of income.
It is. So to wrap things up,
Okay.
I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
Make income king in your life.
Make income king.
Prioritize it, cultivate it, nurture it, and watch it empower you to create that life you want.
A life full of purpose, possibility, and financial well-being.
Exactly.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the power of income.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you found it insightful, inspiring, and empowering.
Absolutely.
Remember, you have the power to shape your financial future.
You do.
Take those first steps, stay committed, and watch your dreams take flight.
Onward and upward.